Hi guys, welcome back to another episode of the Talky Shit with the exclusive Titan. We haven't got a title for this particular podcast because it's not Don't Fear the Wait, and it's not like, you know, chatting shit with Pinky and the Brain, but I suppose we could call it that.
It is, but it's a bit of a weird one, this one, isn't it? And yeah. I think everyone can probably start relating to it as we start talking about it.
Yeah, but no, I mean, actually mean like the title of our podcast. Like I've got Don't Fear the Wait, and then there's other things out there, but, you know, we can just be kind of like chatting shit with Pinky and the Brain. So
yeah, we'll keep it at that. Or we'll comment below what the title should be.
Yes, exactly.
We'll add it on later.
That's it. So, chatting shit with Pinky and the Brain, episode number 714 or something along those lines. We've done so many of these. It's one of those. Just so people are aware, there is no label of who is Pinky and who is the Brain. Sometimes I'm the Brain and he's Pinky, and then sometimes, the majority of the time, he's Brain and I'm Pinky.
We vary it, don't we?
We do. We swap and change. We throw the label all over the place, depending on our niche and our experience. But yes, anyway, Luke, how are you, my man?
I'm not too bad, thank you. Not too bad at all.
Wonderful.
Ticking over. Yeah,
wonderful.
Yourself?
Yes, again, can't complain. Are we in week 7 of the lockdown now?
I think it's coming up to that, yeah. Something
like that, isn't it? So every day is kind of like Groundhog Day.
Yes.
For a lot of people, right?
And that's what we wanted to sort of semi-touch on, really, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Because we were going to talk about something else, but then lack of motivation just started to creep in again, as I expect with a lot of other people, and a lot of other people's sort of areas of life, so to speak, and training. So we thought about, let's talk about that, because it's quite
pertinent.
Hot topic at the moment. Yeah, quite pertinent at the moment.
That's a good word for me.
It is.
I am apparently the Brain today at 2:20.
I must have said it off air before we turned on the call.
Don't flatter yourself. But yeah, it is. It's a very, very pertinent topic. And topic. And as we were just kind of like calling up, and I said to Luke, you know, how are you doing, guys? And he was like, oh, all right. So this is what sparked our conversation of motivation and what is keeping us motivated in week 7 or week 8 of the lockdown, or just lockdown in general. So, Luke, you majority of the time, Jesus Christ, these bloopers are going to be long today, aren't they? You are one-to-one PT, aren't you? And of course, that is not allowed.
Yeah, I mean, I obviously got a couple of strings to my bow with the one-to-one and the online. Luckily, I do have the online stuff and online clients that I have and I'm still working with. I've been legendary, so I just want to put that out there. So thanks for keeping up with that. But I mean, a lot of people who I did train in the gym, they still contact me now and again, and vice versa. And just no, I love training when it was all going all right, and I loved training 2-3 weeks ago. But now I'm just feeling like quite disheartened, quite demotivated. What do you recommend? And the first thing I usually say is join the club, because we're all human. And I know a lot of people look at us, us trainers, for motivation, and rightly so. We're here to help, guide, and coach. But at the end of the day, this is quite an extraordinary turn of circumstances that we're all in. And like yourself, I coach coaches who coach other people, and they're saying their mental health isn't great at the moment. They're finding what they used to do and used to have fun and love doing, i.e. training, the weights, running, etc., a bit of a chore at the moment. What things can they do to get out of that rut and keep doing what they want to do and love doing, and make the days that we're currently stuck in more enjoyable and less more of a chore, if that makes sense. So it's hard. It's hard, and I think first and foremost, people need to know everyone's feeling this way. We're all stuck in it together, and it's not a failing on your part to feel shit right now and feel demotivated, because it is crap. But it's I think I'm understanding that that's the baseline for a lot of people at the moment, whether you're furloughed or I know a lot of people who've had their wages cut by 20 to 40%, but they're taking it, otherwise they lose their jobs. People like myself who worked majority in the gyms, that income's just gone. So it's what do you do to, you know, almost compartmentalize that, to keep thinking about the positive things, keep thinking about, you know, stuff that you want to do, and, you know, gets you, as I say, excited in the morning, but that could be misconstrued. But, you know, but, you know, what, you know, gives you something to look forward to.
Yeah, for sure. And what is it that you're doing at the moment? Because obviously, like we were talking about, you've literally just had, well,
I think, what am I doing well?
No. What I was going to say was, if we have a look at your day-to-day routine, your day-to-day routine has like literally changed on its head, and it's been weird.
Yeah.
From like 6 a.m, you had your first PT client, and then what was your
exactly.
last? Yes.
Yeah, my structure, you know, 6 to 11 would be clients, and I'd train, and then, you know, come home and do a bit of online stuff, and then go back in the gym, and, you know, another sort of 3 till 7 or 8. That was pretty much, you know, 4 days a week, and Wednesday was half day, and that was quite a nice routine, and, you know, kept me busy but not too busy, good work-life balance, etc. But I think that's one of the key things that people can do potentially to help this situation at the moment, is try and keep a routine. It's so easy to slip into, oh, I'll just get up at 8, or I'll get up at 9, or I'll go to bed at 11, or I'll go to bed at 12, and your circadian cycle.
Bloody hell! Well, late.
Not me, obviously. Extreme athlete, but I think that's key, is to keep some structure and routine in your day. Because if you start becoming a bit more sort of lazy and a little bit more apathetic, that will then, you know, almost travel through the rest of your day, weeks, months, depending how long this goes on.
Yeah.
So I think that's really, really key to begin with. So I try and make sure I'm up by 7, which is a little bit later than what I used to be, but I think that's okay. And I try and make sure I go to bed, you know, relatively good time, 10:30. And then it's little things. Please interject, Vicky, if I'm talking too much, but it's little things that I do. I make sure I make my bed in the morning. I make sure I have my cold shower. And there's 2 little challenges that I sort of, you know, make sure I ticked almost.
I love how that's a challenge. I love how making a bed and having a shower is a challenge.
Cold shower.
in the Luke household.
Yeah. But you may laugh, but it's, if I don't do it, it's almost like I've gone down that route of, oh, well, nothing matters, or it's just whatever, I'll do it tomorrow. And then that filters through the rest of the day.
Yeah, you have that apathy.
Like, yeah, exactly. So I think I've got to make my bed, got to make sure I have my cold shower, which you always just go, oh, cold shower. But when you get out of it, you feel a lot better for it, and you feel like, oh yes, no, I've done myself that little challenge, and now what's the next challenge? And I think that's setting yourself little goals, little challenges to do, and especially if you've been really busy, and then all of a sudden, you know, you've got a lot more time to feel than you're potentially comfortable with. So it's like waking up, okay, and sitting down during your breakfast, going, what am I going to do today? I'm going to maybe write a blog, or I'm going to read a book, or I'm going to go on Duolingo, or I'm going to just doesn't have to be time specific, but give yourself a little, I'm going to do like 20 minutes French today, or, you know, I'm going to clean the lounge. I know it sounds a bit silly.
Boring.
and people might just start switching off and going, this is torn bollocks. But I tell you what, if you start writing down and doing 5 to 6 little tasks a day, A, that day goes quicker, and B, you'll feel a lot better at the end of the day, knowing that even though they're just like sort of ambiguous, spurious tasks, but they're tasks nonetheless. Yeah. And no, believe you me, if you haven't done anything for a week, which a lot of people probably haven't, let's be honest, you just feel crap.
Yeah, for sure.
So it's just splitting it up, and I think also it's remembering what you did and why you did it before all this, you know, stuff started to happen, and try and just keep it in the back of your mind why it's so important to try and keep up with your training, you know, keep up with your nutrition, keep up with your routine, because that's what, you know, makes us happy at the end of the day. We're geared towards, I think, a lot more routine and just sort of floating about. Floating about's nice on a holiday.
Yeah. Because you know that you've got a routine to go back to, and there's a set end date.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. But I think half the problem with this, or more than half the problem, is we don't know the end date.
No, exactly.
So it's just like, okay, little micro goals.
Yeah. It's all right. You
Really?
froze. Yeah, you froze for a minute there because your internet was being an arsehole.
Standard.
Yeah, standard.
But yeah, so not talking about training specific, but it's filling your time up and doing stuff productively that you want, or not necessarily that you really want to do, but it's just forcing yourself to do it. But yeah, so that's how I'm getting through some of my days. Is just tasking myself to do stuff with myself, do stuff with my daughter, whether it be reading a book or right, we're going to do these numbers or do this, like I've shown on Facebook before, make these models, whatever it is, just make sure you get it done. And I think that'll keep your sort of motivation and your almost direction shit on track.
On track. I don't think it was. I think you just made it up.
I've just made up a word.
You did. That was a task for you to do today.
Yeah, make exactly. Get a word in the Oxford English Dictionary.
Box ticked. Boom. Okay, wicked. No, I do totally agree with you in terms of like keeping that solid direction and keeping that solid motivation. One of the biggest things that I have found a lot of people lose motivation in at the moment is just themselves, because they haven't got a set goal date as well at the moment. So like people who are going to be going into competitions in terms of powerlifting or even strongmen or bodybuilding. Bodybuilding's the biggest one because that's a mindset fuck as it is. Because, you know, you've got to have your diet on point. You've got to get your cardio on point. And if you're a creature of habit and you like doing your cardio on the Stairmaster, all of a sudden, unless you have a Stairmaster in your garage, I don't know. But unless you cannot get in touch with that or cannot go to the gym in order to get your stairs in, then you're now like, well, now what? Now what the fuck do I do? So, okay, I can't do my cardio, so I just won't do it. And then they're not thinking outside the box of other modalities to do that cardio. So once that transpires, they normally did it fasted. So normally fasted cardio is done at like 6 a.m. You then get back, you then start off your day, breakfast and blah, blah, then you train a bit later. But because you haven't actually got up to do your cardio, you've slept in. So you've slept in and you've automatically reduced your expenditure for the day because you haven't got up and even gone for a walk. And that's one of the biggest tips that I can give everybody and anybody. Literally get up, have your cold shower if you want a cold shower. I prefer so I'm having a warm. Fuck that. I don't like a cold shower. I don't like it. I like my heat.
What I do now, just going off subject a bit, I did the cold shower, but I found that as actually, funny enough, and I don't know whether it's just me, I was getting more injuries and tightness because my muscles weren't warm and I don't know, I'm old. But so I actually have a warm shower first and then I do my minute and just sort of hot and cold therapy almost. And that works really well for me. Yeah. So yeah, but anyway, I know what you're saying. I think having worked with a lot of people who train at a high level and me being a little bit OCD, which a lot of people are with the bodybuilding and powerlifting, etc. If you don't have the right kit or if you don't have the specific gym or the specific time, you feel like, oh, I don't want to do it. And the amount of times that you then go, oh, I'm going to program something else now for this week or next 2 weeks, whether it be my training or do different modalities, but you spend more time programming and try and perfect that programming than actually just getting off your ass and doing something.
Yeah, for sure.
So it's just a case of accepting the fact that, okay, it is what it is. I'm not going to be able to bench 140 kilos because I don't have the kit. I don't have a bench. But maybe, I tell you what, my press ups at the moment is 50. Let's try and add 5 press ups to that, to that set each week. Yeah. But, and again, it comes back to being quite strict. And then you can work backwards. Like most programming, work backwards. Okay, there's my goal. How am I going to get to that? And then you start positively channeling your thought process into a goal that is going to be quite helpful at this point in time because you're achieving more strength, etc., doing a bodyweight exercise. But it's not ideal, increasing bench press, but it's not going to harm it.
No, not at all.
It's the best that you can do at this point in time, and it's accepting that. So
I think one of those, it's a really good point actually, because that can keep up with your motivation. There was, well, there's been lots of studies about it, but there was a study that came out recently as well, about losing strength gains without actually training, and how much of your strength was detrimented through complete not training at all. So really being detrained. And for people who continuously trained 3 times a week, in comparison to the people who were completely detrained and didn't train at all for 6 months, the strength gains or strength losses were non-comparable. They were literally on the same par. So the strength curve still increased. So by the time they actually got back after 6 months of completely detrained or detraining, not training, whatever like that, I think it took them like a week to 10 days to get up to the level where they left off on. So you do not lose complete strength as long as you don't turn into a potato. I mean, let's be fair, let's be honest. You will lose some strength if you turn into a potato and you just kind of go, oh, well, I haven't got a bar, I haven't got a gym, I haven't got dumbbells, I don't want to do bodyweight exercises because it's not hardcore. So fuck it, I shall be a baked potato. So if you do that, you're going to detriment yourself. And especially if you go down the potato route and just eat all of the potato chips, then yes, you are going to obviously lose some stuff. Not only are you going to lose your fucking mind by the time you get back to the gym, because you are now a bloated fish that is wobbly. Yeah, exactly. And, you know, haven't got core stability or anything like that. But you're going to be even more demotivated by getting back into the gym, because you haven't been doing anything. Whereas it's like, I've got powerlifters on my books at the moment who don't have access to any kit whatsoever. You know, maybe a couple of them got like kettlebells or, you know, stability balls or something like that. But the amount of stuff that we can get them doing to increase their strength without actually touching the 3 big lifts is astronomical, because it's all about thinking outside the box and using your body properly.
Exactly. And it's also working on those areas that when you do have the heavy weights in the bar, you always put to the sidelines, or you maybe just have a little play on the end of the workout. But I'll tell you what, if you can start doing 10 to 15, 20 body weight pistol squats, you develop that strength, and when you get back to your squat, all of a sudden you potentially increase the height of that ladder that you now jump back on, because your unilateral strength is so much better.
Yeah, for sure.
So it's just, again, thinking outside the box.
That's it. And people who get, I mean, the thing is, right, is that I'm quite lucky in the fact that I'm never really feeling demotivated until I've got to that point where I need a deload. And I put a story on my Instagram not so long ago about having a deload, and just kind of saying everyone's like scared to death about having a deload in lockdown. And why? I've actually seen people in their garages train harder than I have seen them train in the gym. And it's all because it's that, like, this mentality of, oh, well, my expenditure is so much lower, so I need to bury myself in the garage every single day, #team no days off, and all the rest of it. I was knackered by the time I was doing it, because I was incorporating a lot of the hybrid training that I do. So I was doing wall walks, and I was doing like feet and hand tension and ab rollouts and stuff with a barbell. I mean, Jesus Christ, have you ever done an ab rollout with a barbell?
I did it in the garden the other day, actually. Yeah.
Holy shit, they're hard. But I was knackered. So the point was, it was like, I'm going to take a deload, because my motivation in the gym was going. I didn't want to get out and go for a walk. But by the time I did my walk and brought the dog back, I was like, okay, my legs are tired now. Why are my legs fucking tired? My hunger was through the roof. I could have eaten the dog on the way back home. And yet my weight skyrocketed up by like 1 kilo in 2 days. So all of those physiological markers, and that's a lot for me. That's like, what the hell? Something's wrong. So all of those physiological markers were there saying, Vic, you need a deload. So I did. I took 4 days off, and they were brilliant. And within that time, I wasn't demotivated. I didn't lose my passion for training, but I got loads of stuff done.
Yeah, but that's because you kept it up in the first place. Indeed,
yeah. And, you can get loads of stuff done. I was speaking to high caliber powerlifter Delroy McQueen. Obviously, you've heard of Delroy. Lovely guy. And he said, it's actually been really nice to have a break from training. This has come at a really good time, because my bathroom needed doing. So I've just got on and done my bathroom.
Yeah, and but he's challenged his, right, what am I going to do and what am I going to achieve?
Yeah.
Into doing something like that.
Exactly. And I don't care who you are listening to this podcast. Everybody has a little bit of home DIY that needs being doing. Right, guys, your missus has been kicking your ass for God knows how long to say paint the skirting boards, or clean that cobweb up from the top right hand corner. Get on and do it. Just do those little bits. And when you take a step back and you look at your beautifully clean, shiny coving or a brand new door rail across the middle of your room, you're going to be really happy about it, because it is a sense of accomplishment. So instead of just sitting down in your living room and thinking, oh God, I could really do with painting that wall, get up off your ass and paint it. B&Q's open. This is, did you see B&Q when it was, did you go to B&Q at any point over, oh my God, don't. I mean, at the moment it's better because they've segregated things off, so it's working like Tesco's and stuff like that. But when it was shut, that was a freaking nightmare, because it was the click and collect job. So you had to buy it online, then you were given a delivery slot, you then go and pick it up, but you have to line up and queue, and then they call you forward, and you were waiting for like 3 hours for them to go and find what you got, find what you ordered, bring it out, leave it in the pallet behind your car, then they have to walk away before you can get out of your car and put it in your boot. And you can imagine the amount of people who have all of a sudden got this mentality of, oh, ceiling needs painted, I'll go and get some ceiling paint. All of them were there. It took Scott, I think it took him 2 hours to literally go and pick up mats. It was ridiculous. I was phoning him like, dude, it's lunchtime. Come back.
Which B&Q have you gone to?
Yeah, exactly. Did you go to Wales? But seriously, on a serious note, you can get all of these little jobs done. In the 4 days that I had off training, I got a load of plans done. I wrote a new blog. Tick. Wrote a new blog, did some podcasts. I cleaned the house. The house is beautiful. All my skirting boards have been cleaned. The only thing that I haven't managed to do is change the light switches. Okay. But that's the only thing I haven't managed to do.
That's next week. But I also think as well, I mean, when we switched on and just had a quick chat before we went live, I think as well, just talking to you and it's really important as well to keep talking to people, because a lot of people can get demotivated and a little bit down, depressed if they're just in the same house with the same people. And you might love your people, like you love Scott, I love Kim, etc. But just talking to your mates, just making the time to go, I'm going to talk to Vicky today, or I'm going to talk to Ben, or I'm going to talk to Rachel, etc. It's just, it might seem a bit of I don't know, I can't be bothered, because at the end of the day, that could be your baseline mentality at the moment. But just do it, like we've been saying before, because after a 20-30 minute chat with your mate, you are going to feel better. Yeah,
for sure. You're talking about something different as well.
Yeah, exactly. You're just seeing someone different.
Yeah.
Seeing sort of a different lounge.
Yes. Yes, my messy dining room. My carpets still haven't been delivered, I need to phone them.
That might be a good idea.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they can't deliver it because
just get Scott to do some parquet.
Some parquet?
Some parquet flooring.
No, I don't want parquet flooring. I have spent a great deal of money on a beautiful carpet to match the other carpets in my house.
Is it purple?
No, it's not. It's grey.
Oh.
My wall is purple, and I have a nice grey kind of... I've actually got flooring on my wall because we made our own... You've seen that. No? Shall I do a little walkthrough? Guys, this
blimey.
is a YouTube walkthrough. You can actually see...
This is the first.
Not the first. I've taken you around the house before. Oh, there's the dog. All right, dog. People who are actually just listening to this are thinking, what the fuck? YouTube on this one. So this is my lounge. This
very nice.
Colour. Nice colour. And there's my TV unit.
Dude. That's all very nice and neat now, isn't it? All very professional.
It's very nice, isn't it? But yeah, I've just got bare wood floors. Very irritating. Oh yeah, there's my Easter chocolate look. I still have Maltesers and Galaxies on there.
Wow, that is self-discipline if ever I've seen anything.
And my Commonwealth medal. Priorities.
Yes.
Yeah, that's actually a really good tip. Look at this, guys. I'm giving you DIY tips. So this here, that That's laminate flooring. How cool.
We should call this Tangent TV because we've just gone off on a tangent so many different times today.
Oh God, I'm losing my headphones. Yeah, but look, and isn't it nice? Isn't it a pretty room?
It's lovely.
I know.
I can't wait to come up and see it again in person, mate.
I know, right? I mean, we've got a tree in my hallway.
Look at that. It's
Very nice, right? But how cool is that, though, right? That looks like a proper UFO.
It does.
And it's a light. It's amazing.
Do you know what? I'm so glad you clarified that.
I know, right? You didn't know what it was until I said it. People are listening to this. People would have switched off by now anyway, because we're bored.
We do this for us anyway, Vicky.
Exactly. So do you know what, guys? If you don't like it and you don't like my living room,
comment on Vicky's YouTube channel, not mine.
Yeah, exactly. All mine. Anyway, moving on. Right, so we're going to leave on some words of wisdom. So if you can't get hold of a squat rack, use wood or wheelie bins. Just don't bloody hurt yourself. If you want to have a nice...
building trussles.
Building trussles, apparently that was a very good idea.
Yes.
But again, please don't hurt yourself.
Oh, obviously. We'll write disclaimer now, won't we?
Obviously. What's another word of wisdom in order to keep yourself motivated? Another word of wisdom: women always wipe front to back. Very, very good tip.
This went from actually quite professional to just...
We never do professional.
No.
We can do professional.
Most people get better as they talk. We just slide down that slippery slope.
But it's because we start so high. We start so high, and then we just plummet.
There's only one way down.
Exactly.
There's only one way down.
Do you know how I describe this podcast? Oblivion. That's what we should call it. Oblivion, as in Alton Towers.
Okay.
Because it truckles up, hi guys, welcome to Chit Chat with Pinky and the Brain, blah, blah, and then teetering over because we've just at that pinnacle point of giving all of the knowledge bombs for motivation, and then it's just like, fuck, right front to back.
We've lost all motivation.
Yeah. But you know what? I think from this particular podcast, we've made people smile. We have made people laugh. Yes. And again, if we haven't, fuck you. Don't tune in again. It doesn't matter. But I'm pretty sure that they will. So.
Thank you, Vicky.
Anyway, right. So
I've
if you
lost
are
75%
watching,
of my client base already now.
If you are watching this and you have seen the YouTube video, take a screenshot now. Why aren't you putting your guns up? You can't see that. That's a shit gun show.
I haven't trained arms for a while. That's why.
All right. Okay. So do that.
Yeah.
Oh, excellent. That's okay. So, screenshot, put it on your stories, tag us in it, comment on all of the bits and bobs that you wish to do, and if you want any more knowledge bombs in terms of keeping motivation up. Oh, Luke wants to say something.
No, I'm just saying we want the most random task stroke challenge that you're going to do tomorrow.
And that's
mine was make the bed.
Yeah. Wow. Did you actually do it?
I 100% do. Even though Kim's on the other side, we got two duvets. So I said I get about 6:30, whatever it is, and then I'm like, I've got to make the bed. So I'm like, she's like, I'm like, sorry, tick. I've done my challenge.
Yeah, done my challenge. Yeah. Now it's time for a cold shower.
Yes. Woohoo. But
yeah, random challenges. Write them in, tag us in it, send it to us. And the most random one, me and Luke will do next week.
No, well, Vicky will do. I will watch.
No. We're both going to do it. I've said it now. Yeah. Can't be taken back.
Within reason. Right then.
Anyway, right. Lots of love. We will see you again in the next episode. Bye.
Yeah.
Very funny.